Hi everybody, it's Maureen Wong from mycasestudies.blogspot.com. I have another little MISTI tip for you today, and this has to do with the no lines coloring technique. Basically what you do with no lines, if you haven't heard of it before, or even if you have, I'm placing my stamp, this is Angel Anya from the Gridding Farm, down where I want her to stamp, picking her up with my MISTI cover. And now I'm going to take out my cardstock because I want to just do a stamp off first. Let me move this over. I'm using Color Theory from Studio Calico ink. This is the Clean Slate color, which is a dark gray. And I don't want it dark gray for the no lines technique, so I'm going to stamp her off once onto my scratch paper. And well, that didn't go all the way. And then I'm going to come back in with my cardstock and make sure it is firmly wedged into that corner so I'll know that I'm stamping in the same place when I stamp her again. And then I'm going to stamp her down the second time, and you can see I got a really great light gray image for the no lines coloring technique. And now I'm going to clean off that gray ink from her and let her dry. I'm going to take my cardstock out and move my MISTI out of the way. And now I'm going to just color her face. Okay, so I'm speeding this up because it's just me coloring with my Copics, and I'm no expert, so I don't really want to show off that. But in case you're interested, the color that I'm using here is E000, and I'm laying down just a solid base coat over her entire face. And then I'm going to come in with my E11 and lay down the darker shadows. And this is R20 for her blush. And then I'm coming back in with E00 to blend out the shadows and the blush, and to add in a little bit more mid-tone shadows. Then finally I'll come back in with E000 and blend those lines out. Okay, now my little tip is usually with the no lines technique, after you're done coloring the features, you would put in the eyes and the eyebrow back in, and most people do that just by drawing over the lines if they can see them, or drawing their own in. But I think that the eyes and the eyebrow are really important features on the face, and I always do a terrible job when I'm coloring those in myself or trying to recreate them. So using the MISTI, I can come back in, place my cardstock back in that same corner, make sure it's firmly wedged in so I know it's in exactly the same place it was when I stamped it the first time. And then what I'm going to do is get a Stampin' Right marker from Stampin' Up, and I'm going to use the brush end, and I'm going to color over her little eyebrow and stamp that down. I'm going to color over her eyes, and the reason why I'm doing this one at a time is because I want to make sure that the ink of my pen is still wet when I stamp it down to get a better image. And I'm going to color her other eye with the marker and stamp that down. And you can see that or maybe you can't see it, I didn't get perfect coverage on the eyes, or just a little bit light, so I'm going to go back in again and that's better, and I'm going to go in with the other eye and stamp that down. And there you can see my no lines coloring image has the perfect face, and I didn't have to draw it in because I used my MISTI. So just another great use of the MISTI for a popular stamping technique, and I hope you like this tip. Thanks very much for watching.